This is Andi for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness, and I'd like to be joined by former world champion and world title challenger Paul Butler. Paul, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Hard session.
I was going to say, it looks like it had been a hard one. What's going on with yourself? What are you up to now? How are you ticking over?
Not long got back in the gym. Hopefully I'll be boxing pretty soon. We're just waiting on to see when Callum boxes him, if he boxes at the what's it called now, the old Echo, it's called M&S Bank. Yeah, if Callum boxes there, then we'll be on that bill, and then we'll be pushing on from there, hopefully.
What are you looking at with regards to opponents for the next fight?
The next one, it's tough really for me in the bantamweights, because like I've asked Joe, the European title's being contested for in November, so I can't box for that. Two of the world titles are held up in the World Boxing Series. I've already boxed Tete. Who else is there? There's the WBC champion. I'm ranked number 9 with that. They did offer us that fight for Kazakhstan, but the money wasn't great, and travelling to Kazakhstan, I don't think it was worth my while, to be honest with you. So if that fight can be made over here on a big show, then I don't see why we can't go down that route.
How difficult is it to try and land a world title fight at the smaller weights? We talk about the much heavier weights, but I'd argue it's a lot more difficult at a smaller weight to try and manoeuvre yourself into position to fight for a world title.
It's tough. Obviously I boxed Rodriguez and I failed weight, but I've had 3 good wins since then. 2 of them being on World Boxing Super Series bills, and one at the Echo on Liam Smith's debut for Matchroom. So yeah, it is tough, especially for me, obviously with the World Boxing Series, which I've just touched on. A lot of the titles were held up in there, but hopefully by the time that finishes come November, if Inoue wins it, which I'm sure he will, I can see him going up a weight, vacating, and I'm highly ranked with the IBF, so well, I think I'm number 2, so number 1 will box number 2, which is me. So at the moment it's just about sitting patiently and waiting and seeing what happens.
You've just touched on that Inoue fight. What are your thoughts with that World Boxing Super Series final between Inoue and Inoue-Donaire?
I think it's a great fight, you know. I think it's not so much a hype train, because he is unbelievable, and he hits stupidly hard, but everyone seems to forget that Donaire has been hit very hard before. He's been in with Walters. I know Walters stopped him, but Walters hit him with some big shots. Does Inoue hit as hard as Walters? Probably not, but he hits a lot faster and he's a lot sharper, and it's the shot that you don't really see that seems to put you away. I do think Inoue wins, but I don't think it's in blistering fashion like what he has been doing 1 and 2 rounds. I think it'll probably take him 6, 7, maybe 8 rounds, and I think he will get him out of there. But Donaire's no muggy. He's been around the block and he knows what he's doing.
Was you surprised by his victory in the semi-final against Rodriguez?
Not really. I was having this debate with my dad. I said Rodriguez is an unbelievable fighter as well, but he's too eager to. I can't find the word. He's too keen to get his own style off. He's too ignorant to step back. He wants to be in your face. He wants to land his own shots because he is that good. He won't let anyone else dictate him, and I think that was his downfall. I think if he'd stepped back, I thought he won the first round. I thought he had a great first round, but the trade left hook, you hook him with a hooker, and he seemed to get caught. I wouldn't say he never recovered from that, because I thought he was all right. When he got up, he seemed to shake it off. The body shots kill you though. He went from upstairs to downstairs, and I don't think Rodriguez expected that.
A lot of people have touched on Inoue's body shots. Are they the key for him to any fight? Just for the fact that he's so heavy-handed, if he lands on your body, naturally he's just going to slow you down, and that's his way to victory.
I think no one really seems to remember the body shots, what he throws, and he hits that hard, like you say, that if he's not going to take it out to the head, he'll take it out to the body. A few of his fights he's finished to the body.
Oh, we saw him stop Jamie McDonnell with a body shot.
Yeah, he was brilliant that day as well. We all know Jamie McDonnell struggles with weight, and I think he pretty much knew that himself. I think he did hurt him to the head with a left hook, and then after he hurt him to the head, he just went downstairs, and that's what finished it.
Now, the other world champion who you have been in ring with as well, Zolani Tete, he was in World Boxing Super Series and then had to withdraw for injury. How do you think he would have got on in the tournament if he was to have continued?
Do you know what? I think he was the man that could trouble Inoue, only for his sheer size and his skill set, and him being a southpaw. I'd have loved to have seen that as a final, because Tete is massive and he carries serious power himself. So it'd have been, I don't know, I think it could possibly have been a chess match, and I think, honestly, there's a lot. I think in a way they won, but I think it was how Zolani Tete would have dealt with him, and it'd have been interesting to see the height and the southpaw stance against Inoue, who is pretty small for a bantamweight as well.
Tete is someone who you've shared the ring with. Obviously, you've had a lot of time to reflect on that. What would you have done differently if you had the chance to go back?
You know, it was a tough night to work. That I think I just got too emotionally involved in it after like 3 or 4 rounds. I knew I was 3 or 4 rounds down, and I remember going back to the round after round 7, I think, and I said, "This is a shutout, this." And I just remember getting frustrated with myself, frustrated because I couldn't really get past his jab. I was trying to leap over with a left hook when I should have just tried to work behind the jab instead of getting frustrated. Probably let him try and come onto me. That was my downfall, getting too emotionally involved in it and walking onto a big shot.
Now, we've talked about all the other guys, we've touched on yourself briefly, but if you could map out your next year as a boxer, how do you see it playing out? What type of plans have you discussed with Joe and your promoters?
Yeah, I touched on it before. Obviously I'm in a good position with the IBF, so we'll see what happens when, well, not when Inoue wins it, but if Inoue wins it, I'm pretty sure he'll go up to super bantamweight and try and win a world title like that, because that'll be his 4th weight. And if that's the case, then we're in line for the IBF. So it's just a waiting game for me at the moment.
Finally, just a couple of things in boxing world I just wanted to get your opinions on. Firstly, Tyson Fury's rumoured next opponent is going to be Otto Wallin, a Swedish fighter. Your thoughts if that fight was to happen?
I don't even know who the kid is, so I can't really have an opinion on that. But I'd like to see him in with someone like Ortiz or maybe, well, Miller's banned, isn't he? But you know, somewhere along that calibre of fighter, that's fringe world level, and then obviously he's back in with Wilder then, so it'd be nice to see him in with a name what the public know.
Do you think that's what's frustrating a lot of people on the back of seeing him going with Deontay Wilder? A lot of people had him winning the fight. He's gone in with Tom Schwartz, who wasn't necessarily a well-known fighter. Otto Wallin, if that proves to be the case, isn't a well-known fighter. A lot of fans are just maybe becoming frustrated that they haven't seen him with the likes of Luis Ortiz and who's fighting Deontay Wilder, or you know, the other leading names in the division.
Yeah, it's tough because, like you say, a few of them are tied up. But I'd have liked to have seen him straight back in with Wilder. I think that's what everyone thought was going to happen because everyone thought he won the fight. But he's obviously chose another route. I don't know why, but he's obviously got his reasons behind that.
And Anthony Joshua's rematch with Andi Ruiz Jr. seen reports surface today that it might take place in Saudi Arabia. Callum Smith's fought out there, your campmate, and Mia Khan, owner of a gym, fought out there. Your thoughts if that was to be the case, though?
It's completely up to, well, I'm sure Joshua's still leading the way and pulling all the strings there, but I think no matter where that fight happens, I think it's still a tough night's work for Joshua. I think Ruiz only had 6 weeks last time. I just think he's all wrong for him. I think he's small, he's compact, and I think once he's inside and Joshua throws, I just think Ruiz is first to the punch each time. I think he's shown that after he got dropped, and once he got up, he recovered very, very quick and put Joshua down himself. So I think it's a tough night's work.
Well, Paul Butler, I know you're going to be eager to shoot off now, so thank you for your time. Thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.